The iPad Pro with the M2 chip was released in 2022, and today I'm going to share my experience using this device in my day-to-day activities. But before I get started, make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy Apple content and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. My name is Marina, and if you're new here, welcome to the channel. App is an incredible cross-platform suite which gives you access to over 200 iOS and macOS applications without any additional cost. You only need to pay for your subscription and choose the apps that you would like to use. Now, a great benefit is that you can start a free trial when you use my affiliate link listed down below in the description. Starting with what's new on this iPad. Apple didn't change much from the previous generation. In short, we have the new M2 processor and a new hover feature for the Apple Pencil. Being extremely honest, I didn't feel much difference in performance when comparing it to the M1 chip, but perhaps if you run very heavy games or push the iPad to its limits by doing some 3D work or video rendering, you might see a slight benefit in upgrading to the M2 processor. However, I don't recommend the upgrade if you already have the M1 iPad Pro. That being said, the hover feature might be a deal breaker if you're an artist or use the Apple Pencil a lot. This feature basically allows the Apple Pencil to interact with the display up to 12 millimeters away. So you can see where the pencil will touch on the screen, preview your brushes, and engage in many other custom interactions depending on the app that you're using. Initially, I didn't think this would be a must-have feature, but after using it for a while, it's very hard to live without. Now, everything else about this iPad is basically the same as the previous generation with the M1 chip, so my experience won't change much. Let's start with display size. I have the 12.9-inch iPad, and it's absolutely amazing. The colors are very vibrant, the screen is very bright, and the contrast is incredible. If you need the best display, definitely go with a larger size. I still think that the 11-inch is the perfect size for everyday use, but if your goal is to use the iPad as your main device, the bigger screen will definitely boost your productivity. Also, battery life. This is probably the weakest point of the iPad. It's not bad, but especially if you use it as your main device, you will have to charge it at least once every day. I'm so used to my MacBook going for 2 days on the same battery that every time I pick up the iPad and see the battery draining much faster, it gets my attention. Again, it's not bad, but we're definitely spoiled by the performance of the new MacBooks. Next, Sidecar. This is not specific to this iPad because Apple introduced Sidecar on iPadOS 16, and it allows you to use your iPad as a second monitor for your Mac. I know people dream of using this beautiful 12.9-inch screen of the iPad as a second monitor, and yes, that was my intention as well. However, Sidecar over Wi-Fi is so buggy that you will probably give up after a few hours. What I end up doing is using my iPad as a standalone device next to my Mac and taking advantage of universal control to use my keyboard and mouse to control it. Maybe Apple will improve Sidecar in the future, but for now, it's still not usable to me. Talking about the cameras, yes, the iPad has a 12-megapixel wide camera and a 10-megapixel ultra-wide camera that records in Apple ProRes, along with a LiDAR scanner on the back, which all sounds very nice, but I rarely use them. On the other hand, I use the front-facing camera much more often for FaceTime calls, and it's nice to have center stage on it. The only downside is that Apple capped the camera on the side of the iPad and didn't move it to the center like they did on the 10th generation iPad. So whenever you're on a call using your iPad in landscape mode, your eyes will not be facing the screen to the other person. I know this is not really a big deal, but I really wished Apple would have changed this for this iPad. Now, accessories. If you really want to use the iPad as your main device, I highly recommend you purchase the Magic Keyboard. I already have a whole video here on the channel talking about it, but in short, it's expensive, a bit heavy, but the best accessory to turn your iPad into a powerhouse. The Apple Pencil is also something you cannot do without. And even though I don't use it as much as I plan to, it makes a tablet a tablet. You can grab it, annotate stuff, watch videos, interact with the content, and do things that you cannot do on a regular computer. If you're thinking of using your tablet the way you use your computer, maybe you don't need a tablet after all, but I already have a full video talking about whether or not you should buy an iPad over a computer. So make sure to watch it if you're interested. In conclusion, little has changed on the M2 iPad Pro. If you already have the previous generation, I would say save your money and wait for the next one. However, it's a great machine. It's amazing how much power Apple packs into such a small package. The beautiful display, Apple Pencil with hover support, M2 chip to edit your videos and run heavy apps make this the best iPad ever released. Let me know down below in the comments how you use your iPad every day, or if you're planning on buying one this year. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.